So hi guys, welcome back to the K2A podcast. It's it's a beautiful weather in Mysore. It's been raining, and I've just ordered onion pakoras on Swiggy. So with that, I would like to introduce my co-host Ashish. What do you have for dinner?
Haven't had dinner yet. We'll have it soon.
Okay, you haven't had dinner. So
No.
this is the K2A podcast. This is the show where we
Weirdest
reminisce.
intro for the K2A podcast.
This is a different intro. I thought
Yeah.
we'll do a bit of change. So this is the K2A podcast. This is the show where me and Ashish reminisce about our school memories, and we talk about the things we loved in school. This is season one, episode 8. Uh, Sixth episode, we had got Shweta Kini from Kumparas, and this episode we got a very special guest. With that, I would like to introduce Divya Hoskere.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. I think it's really nice that you're doing this podcast.
Thank you for this kind words. So, with that, I think we'd like to introduce the topic of this episode. The topic of this episode is the joy of dance, the joy which dance has given us all through the years. So, we're going to start off with how exactly all three of us started dancing. So, I think Divya can go first with that.
How I started dancing? I started dancing. Well, my first experiences with dance have been as a baby. I probably don't remember, but I've been told that I was taken to dance class in a basket. My mother used to dance, so she's taken me in a basket, and that's how I started dancing. And what about you guys?
Ashish, I think you can go with that.
Mine's pretty similar. My dad was thinking all about he wanted me to do a lot of different things apart from school, so that my dad is like super futuristic. He's already thinking of my college entrance exams.
Marriage?
While I was college entrance exams,
Okay.
not marriage.
No,
Okay, so
futuristic, I thought like, okay.
no, but yeah, so he was thinking, let's just get him into how many other side activities as possible. So at the age of 4, I think I was put into dance class, and I started dancing since then. How about you?
So I
When did
don't
you
have
start?
any inspiring stories. I was never carried in a basket, nor did I start at the age of 4. Basically, what happened was I just needed something to stop me from eating. I used to eat a lot when I was young. So my mom said, okay, let's get him into a physical activity. That's when it started, and I just like the sound of music, whatever rhythm makes your body move. And from there on, I used to dance at my home. Just used to put the radio or speaker on or whatever, just dance in front of the mirror. I think that's the best form of enjoyment when nobody's watching. Dance like nobody's watching. That's what they say. So dance wherever you can, and whenever music, I just feel my body move. So probably that has been the inception for me to dance.
Is there any song that you guys always dance to? Like any favorite songs that you always dance? Like as it plays, you just feel your body move.
Uh, for me, it's there was a song called Nakamuka. I don't know if you guys have heard it.
Ah,
It's,
yeah,
it's a
definitely.
yeah. The dance is insane.
So many college dances on that song.
Yeah. So when you just listen to that, you just feel like getting on the floor. So yeah. Instead, okay, I think let the guest talk. So I think Divya can go with which song she would like to always dance to.
For me, it's still a Bharatanatyam song. So it's a classical music piece. It's a Tilana. It's Tilana and Raga Dhanashri. It's one of my favorite pieces, and it's a very tiring piece, but it's one piece that I never get tired in ever. Really, the joy of dance is in that Tilana for me.
Okay, so let's talk about our stories in dance. Like, have either of you had any fun experiences in dance? Any stories organizing or actually dancing?
Yeah, I mean many, many. I can tell you the first time I went on stage. That is something that I will never forget. It's not like an eventful thing, but it's just that memory is just so clear in my head. So I think I was 5 years old, 5.5, and it was January, and I remember it was raining that day, and I had to go on stage. My first stage show ever. So it was in an auditorium on JC Road, and there I remember. So I hadn't had the feeling of being on stage before, and so this was that first time. Of course, so I don't know if you know, but the lights don't come on until you go onto the stage. So I'm standing on the side wings, on the right wing actually. The third wing on the right. That's where I was standing. I'm waiting to enter. The music starts playing and like, there's that adrenaline rush before you start dancing. So I'm feeling that for the first time and I'm like a baby almost. I'm like 5.5. And then the music comes on. And then like my cue to enter has come, so I enter. And then the lights come on, and that is one moment that I can never forget. Yeah.
So what do you,
That's
Shiva?
yeah.
For me, I think for me, group dance in school was a big thing. They used to torture us in
Oh yeah.
practice. Yeah, they used to literally torture us, man.
Yeah.
There were two girls from our class who used to do it. I'm sorry, I won't take their names, but I think they can
I
identify
know.
themselves.
I know the names.
You know the names of them. So anyway, so these guys, they were really drill masters, to put it that way. They used to put in through warm-up exercises again and again, repetition. It's a repetitive process. The basic
Yeah.
point of a group dance is you got to be in sync. If you're not in sync, it's a comedy show. That's how what it is. So that has been my first experience. But uh, with respect to being on stage, I think school day. I wouldn't call it dance, but I was a dance teacher on school day. Didn't have a name. They
You
just
were the
called me.
dance teacher on school day, but you wouldn't call it dance.
No, because I never danced actually. I just witnessed people dancing on stage. I never had a name like Guruji, Swaminanda, nothing. Just Guruji. It's like a
Yeah.
code name, and two
Oh
disciples
yeah,
next
that.
to me. Which was funny though, because I never knew how to dance, but the people next to me were already professional dancers. So I didn't understand what criteria they were using to choose the Guruji. So yeah, again, so Divya clearly remembers what she did probably 10 years back. I can't remember what I ate yesterday. That's a pretty good memory. Okay, so coming back. So when you go on stage, the light hits your face, and then you
Yeah.
realize that you're standing in front of 500 people who are going to see what you're going to do next.
That's
Uh,
the best thing. When the light hits your face, you don't see the people
are you wear
because
glasses?
no.
Uh,
But because the light is on you, there's no light on the audience,
oh, okay, that way.
so you don't see the audience
Oh
at
no,
all.
school day is different. There are lights around the audience because
Oh,
people
school
have
day
to go
was
to the,
different. Yeah, school day was different.
yeah, because they have to
I'm
go to the
talking.
canteen and
Yeah,
lights,
yeah,
they
yeah,
you need to have the lights, right? So you basically
yeah,
see
yeah.
people. That's stressful. So for me, it's stressful. So what about you,
Oh,
Ashish?
yeah.
How about me?
Like,
I wait. So my biggest memory about dance is being part of a dance group in college, where I was the co-head of the dance group because me and the other two guys were the only seniors in the group. So de facto heads. We
okay.
had to teach everyone the steps. We had to teach everyone the thing, and we had this system in this group thing where we would collect fines for anyone that came late to practice. And
Is that legal? Is that allowed?
no, so okay, so longer backstory. Before this, I was in a theater group where if you were late, you had to pay a fine. So we just like, okay, we don't want anyone to be late because that's how college is, right? So we're like, we'll put a fine. Okay, first day, uh, one of the three heads only is late.
Okay.
And we all talk about it, it's like, yeah, just drop the fine, it's fine, it's cool. Chill. Which is kind of what most of college dance performances are. Everything is just relaxed until the last 2-3 days where
Yeah.
everyone practices.
You know, the worst part about dance is still fine. When you're
The,
practicing, you're dancing in your own clothes. The problem comes in when these people get you costumes and they say you have to wear it. Okay.
Which are so expensive out of nowhere.
So they see the thing is we don't have a say in designing the costumes, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, one of the dance things with the Ruby dance, they told me to wear a white, very thin sweatshirt kind of thing. The problem is I have to fit into it. You can't just say come one day before and say wear it. It's not possible, bro. You got to have a rehearsal with that.
Yeah.
So those things they never thought of, I thought. And they used to have these funky dresses. For guys, it is still okay. Black shirt, black pant. Girls, it is very complicated. Uh, this is my opinion.
Yeah,
yeah,
same for us.
it's a
So,
composite art form.
I mean,
Involves both
probably
you.
like because you're in the classical scene, I think
Yeah,
your dress has to be perfect, correct?
yeah. Yeah, it does. And initially when you're like just joining the field, you kind of don't know what works on stage. So unless you try out different combinations of colors and styles,
Hmm.
now I know sort of what works.
Hey, so going back to the college dance thing, one thing that we always had was any step that went wrong, if we like say hit our knees on the floor or anything, that would basically mean that that one dancer would be out for at least a day or two.
Hmm.
So I know that you dance on your own, right? Like you don't have a group or anything. So how do you deal with injuries there? And if you have injuries at all?
Uh, so I can't afford to have injuries, but I have had an injury once, just before a performance. So, well, actually, it was 3 years ago. No, was it 3 years ago? No, it was 2.5 years ago. It was in Feb. And I had a sort of a scooter accident. And I had a performance coming up 2 weeks from then. And I had to actually learn a new, like an entire new performance. So that was kind of difficult because I was like injured pretty bad. I didn't have a fracture, thank God, but it was an airline fracture on my foot. But I still did it with, I don't know, willpower. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know. I
Because
took
maybe
it easy.
the
I took it easy in the practice because I had to be able to perform. But the performance was fine. It was a good
because
show.
maybe the good thing about a group is that in case any single member gets injured, we can always like have like a
Oh
whole
yeah,
team left there.
actually that same day I was injured. The day after that I had a group performance with my dance class, which I did not dance in. The group performed, yeah. Like last minute choreography changes happened.
Yeah, and also in group performance, I remember being in 3 group performances where somebody got injured or fell sick. It's really fascinating watching everyone's formations change, where the formations would look like a flower opening up, but then it's like, oh yeah, this person's injured, yeah, and now it just looks like a dead bee. Change it all, change it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where good choreography helps because you have to just be able to change your choreography like that to fit the situation, which is good for which happens in the professional field, but in school, I don't know.
Choreography is also one big drama only, like in school or in college. I think, Shiva, you've been this thing, right? Choreographer for a dance.
Who, what?
Haven't you
Are you
choreographed a
serious,
dance?
bro? Okay, come on. I think we're talking about dance. We all dance, that's all fine. But choreographer, that's too big. Yeah. No, no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
but didn't you teach a dance to someone? Like I swear, I remember you talking about teaching dance to a certain class.
Really?
Oh,
Did you, or did you not?
No, man. Must be in my dreams. I don't. No, I mean, I don't think I've been that good. But speaking of people in college, if you want to get someone to do something in dance, what you use is not motivation. It's called emotional blackmail. Seriously, I'm serious. Basically, what they're going to do is, you don't do a dance step properly. If someone doesn't do a dance step, someone's going to start crying. Someone's going to say that this group is going to end. Someone's going to say that we're going to come last, and because of all this drama, we all get motivated and then we win. This is what has happened. Every group I've been, this is what has happened. Somehow or the other, however bad the practice is, it looks amazing on stage because people don't know what to look for at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people don't really know the steps that you guys are doing
Yeah.
or have missed, right? So like the whole group is doing something, somebody else is doing something else. Oh yeah, like that must be what they must have practiced, and I just like ignored all that.
Exactly. Because once some filmy song like Dinka Chika or something starts on stage, people go crazy. They know it's going to be a good set, right? So, which brings me to a very important thing because Divya spoke about willpower on stage, right? Now, this is with every artist, I think, singer, dancer, or whatever. And this is with respect to Carnatic or other traditional dance forms. When you, whatever happening behind stage, you may have a fight with your friend or you may be in a bad mood. When you go on stage, you got to have the expressions, or you should know the steps. You should lose yourself on stage. So Divya, how do you handle that? You may have had a fight with, had a bad day with something or the other, but on stage you have to show that expression, that move. How do you do that? Because the reason why I ask is because usually when dancers have, I think the word is arangetram, right?
Yes,
I'm not, yeah.
Arangit.
So when they have the performance, now with classical dancers, it's mostly the eye movement. Eye movement, the hand gestures is very important. And every movement you make, audience notices. So
Yes.
Western dance is more about movements, hand movements, and so on and so forth. The face is just maybe impassive. But classical dance, the face, there's a lot of
Emote.
focus on that. So
Yeah, the face
again,
emote.
if your mood's bad, how do you manage that?
Yeah, so it's like what I said. When I'm on stage, I'm not me. I'm a character, and that should be the goal of any classical artist. To like you play characters that are so different from you. So I've played in one piece. There's this extremely bold a woman who's just who doesn't care about the gossip of the town people, and that's not me at all. I'm not that bold.
Okay.
And but I guess there's also that I'm lucky in the way that I get to play these characters. I get to be who I'm not sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing you talked about was like respecting the audience's time, which I don't think has ever crossed either my mind or Shiva's
Yes,
mind.
it's something that's something that
So,
I thought of
especially
after
in college, dancing with your friends. Like I'm always like very rarely do I take dance seriously, but most of the time it's just with my friends. We just go to the group. We practice 2 days before the competition. Go do something and then come off. And I don't think any of us have ever thought, oh, we have to respect the audience's time.
No, I'm not talking about in a college setting. See, in a college setting, it's different because there's a whole there's an element of lightheartedness in that, and college or school dancing
Also,
for that matter. The main purpose
audience
of
doesn't want
college
to be there.
audience doesn't want to be.
Yeah, because in college, most of the audience are there because of attendance.
No, but in school it wasn't like that. Everybody wanted to attend the Litfest dances, school day dances. Like it was the event of Litfest, if I remember right.
No,
But
school also
there
was kind of like that, where teachers would take attendance for coming to the amphitheater and the what do you call
right. Okay. Auditorium.
yeah, auditorium. So yeah, like most of the audience doesn't necessarily want to be there in school or college.
Well, even if they don't want to be there, it's your job to make them feel like, okay, it was not too bad at least. I had fun. They danced well.
So kiddish, no? Like we'll take attendance. If you don't have attendance, call your parents. What?
But no, in school they didn't. They knew people would come for Lit Fest and all.
No, I mean, come on. See, in group dance, they play songs like Sheila Ki Jawani, Chikni Chameli and all, and they expect the students to come and see it. Like, are you even serious? Okay, so anyway, just wanted to get, so probably Divya, you were a cult sec, right, of Kumarans.
I was Emerald Culture.
Emerald cult sec. So, being part of an OK house, how did you feel handling the
Excuse
group?
me.
What?
We were an amazing house.
You always came
When-
second, if I remember correctly.
That is, except when I was Cultec, we came first in everything.
So when you were cult sec, you came
By
second.
the way, no, we came first.
Oh, you came first. Huh?
Yeah. When I was not Cultec, we might have come second because I don't know. But when I was Cultec, we did come first in the dance. I remember.
Okay.
And in play. And in music, I think. I don't remember music.
See, I always believe luck is very important. Maybe it plays a huge role.
Yeah. I have the thing about luck for you. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Hey, I'm not talking about the hard work. I'm just saying you were lucky that other houses didn't perform
Yeah,
so
yeah,
well.
I'm extremely lucky because the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Okay, this is going nowhere. But so, speaking, you were Kalsek. So, probably could you tell us about how you manage group dance politics? I think that's an interesting thing we can all talk about.
Group dance politics. Oh, so yeah. So the thing is, lucky for me, from fourth standard till ninth standard, I've been a part of this group dance, and there's been crazy the politics. So I had enough experience to know what to do and what not to do.
Okay. So, probably Ashish, you have anything to say on group dance politics?
Yeah, it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, it's quite terrible if
So
it
because
happens.
okay, so the first thing that we had personally was a huge barrier in language, because half our team was North Indian, other half was Mallu. Okay, and our group heads also, one guy is Mallu, one guy is North Indian, third guy is me, who knows neither Malayalam nor Punjabi. All these guys are talking in Malayalam and they're having their own time. These guys are talking in Punjabi, having their own time. And in the middle, there's like me and two other people who are similar. And this led to so many clashes because we couldn't understand each other. So we all had a lot of confusions about different dance moves, timings. Yeah, it's a huge thing. Which, like, if a group actually performs, that in and of itself is a huge miracle.
Okay.
How about you?
So, my experience is very simple. Every time I go to a group, there's always this one guy or one girl who gets too much attention. Okay. So, one in the first group, what happened? It was a girl. Okay. So, all guys are there. So, obviously, maximum attention, ratios like that. Then, college, what happened? Guy was there. So, girls, too much attention, 1:5, that kind of ratio, right? So, what happens is, group gets distracted a lot. Nobody's concentrating on work, and that's how a lot of politics comes in. For example, I'm doing the correct move, the person next to me is doing something wrong because, yeah, sorry.
Which is a huge thing, especially if you have like a external instructor, right?
Yeah.
And they teach you one thing. If two people have two different timings, there's a huge argument about who is doing it on beat and who is doing it off.
Correct. Yeah, happens, bro.
Huge
There's another thing. You got to be outspoken in a group, because once people start pointing that you're doing the mistake, even though you're not doing the mistake, you're doing the mistake. Getting what I'm saying? It's always like that in a group, at least. Because if you keep taking the blame, you keep going to the side and you start hating your group. This has happened for me. I don't make the mistake the person next to me, because this person is more loud spoken than me. It just seems like I'm taking the blame. But if so, guys, whoever is listening, if you want your group dance to go well, please don't make couples. Please don't give too much attention to people, and please be understanding. That's very important. We can do a solo dance, but group dance is there so that we can work in a team.
Yeah. Also, you probably won't win anything, so just have fun.
I think that's important. That's because
that was important.
they take it very seriously. Like, we got to win this. No, we just got to have fun. That's how you win.
Yeah, because they're like especially if you're in college, you most likely won't win unless you're a part of like a established team.
Yeah.
Which has existed like for the last 10 years. They have a fixed coach. They have fixed timings. Those teams usually win.
Okay, so now we talked about a lot of school, right? So probably we'll turn the focus to Divya. So Divya, you have given quite a number of international and national shows, and probably you have a lot of experience. And you said you've started a dance while you were still in a basket, which is pretty interesting. So now, while you were in the basket, or probably after that, did you ever think that have you missed out anything because of dance? Because you see a lot of teenagers doing a lot of teenage things, but you were probably getting the rigors and probably building your stamina on the dance stage. Do you think you missed out on something, or are you happy for the sacrifice?
No, I never I never felt like I missed out on anything because this was what I wanted to do. So this was I was never forced to, okay, you have to go to dance class, you have to do this. It was all by choice. I mean, at first I was put into dance class without knowing anything. But after that, it was my choice whether I wanted to stay or not. And it's not like I had like a crazy different childhood or anything. I had dance class, yes, every day after school, sometimes even in the mornings. But I still did normal kid things. I still enjoyed childhood. Like college is a little different because I'm more serious about it, and it's my profession now. So college, yeah, it's different from everybody else. I don't hang out extra in college. I like college ends at 3:30 and I'm out by 3:31. And yeah, that's different. But it's it's something that I understood about this field, that it takes that much commitment, and I enjoy it. So I never felt like I missed out on anything. I did miss out on one school trip because I had a performance, the 10th grade trip that's so spoken about. I was one of the only few who didn't go. But but like commitment at that age, like starting to be committed at that age is what helps me get into the field. So it's good.
Don't you miss, what if you had mass bunked in class? What if you had just shouted in the last bench, slept in the last bench? Do you miss all that, or?
No, I don't. But mass bunk and all does not happen anymore. At least in my college, it doesn't happen.
It definitely happened in my college.
Okay. So the thing is, so I'm studying design, so it's kind of different from the other fields because you really have to be there in class because you're constantly submitting things and you're constantly getting feedback about your work and all of that.
Okay. So probably we've talked about dance and this thing. Definitely with dance, there's a whole lot of music which comes in.
Yeah.
So what kind of music do you guys listen to? I think we start with Divya.
Me, are you sure you want to start with me?
I'm definitely
Okay.
sure this is going to be fun.
I listen to Carnatic music.
That was not a surprise.
Uh-huh.
Not a surprise at all.
I don't know. So when I was in school, people would recommend songs, and I was like, okay, and I have to go home and I listen to them. But then I don't know. At some point, so the reason I listen to Carnatic music is because I don't have the time to go and learn it. So I did learn Carnatic music as a child, so I know a little bit. But I really wanted to train my ear to the nuances of the music because it's going to help me in dance. So I started listening to it, and now I'm so tuned into it that anything else sounds like noise. So I go out to a restaurant and they're playing some loud music. I'll be like, can they reduce the volume? And my friends will be like, how old are you? Are you 55? I'm like, no, but it's so loud. I'm like, they're singing apostrophe. Can they sing properly? But yeah.
So are you out of sync with your generation? Is that something we can say?
Not entirely. But I think that out of sync, it didn't happen like just that. In school, I was very in sync. But then now slowly through college, I'm kind of out of sync because, it's a choice also. It's not like not like it just happened. It was also a choice, a conscious choice to go out of sync with the generation. But yeah, it's sort of.
Okay. So Ashish, you probably want to add if you're out of sync with your generation. Is that?
Yeah. I think that the music that my generation, in quotes, listens to is horrifying. I think they need to learn how to make music better. Until then, I will stay in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, I don't even. So I think music and all is fine. It just depends on taste. So my taste is like I have inculcated a taste in Carnatic music. So it's obviously something I enjoy. And everybody and like it's just that the mass of the generation has inculcated a taste in pop music or whatever, Bollywood music. So that's what they're into.
About you, Shiva?
So,
Yeah,
so for me, I'm actually a fan of fusion Carnatic. So if you heard of bands of like Agam, I don't know if you've heard them.
yeah.
Agam. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Harish Sivaramakrishnan. He's the lead band singer. Beautiful. Rangapura Vihara, then Swans of Saraswati. Beautiful. I just love listening because it's so pure, his voice. And the background music is not purely Carnatic. It's a bit of fusion. A guitar, there's a keyboard and all that.
Yeah.
So with respect to, am I synced with out of the generation? Yes. I would say I'm a bit too traditional compared to my college mates because I have a problem with this thing called boxer shorts. I don't know if you've seen them,
With
heard
this
them.
thing called what?
Boxer shorts, you've heard them?
No.
Okay. So basically, people get
I
out
think
of
they're called
bed.
chaddis in
Yeah,
India.
essentially, a lot of people in hostel go out with them, and I really want to ask them, have you forgotten your pants at home? So I really sound like an uncle sometimes, and sometimes when I'm talking to my friends, I really talk to him like, if you're scolding your kid, that's how I really talk to them. It's really you feel out of sync, and I talk about ideals and values and value system and all that, and I really feel that I think I should have been born before the 90s. Just a thought. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but it happens with me.
Yeah, I've been told I should have been born like in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, I
It's
think you
not even
should.
like parents' generation, grandparents' generation, which is quite sad. But that's what my friends tell me.
I think 1930s would have been fine because Carnatic music was the thing then. Probably
Yeah.
then your
And
taste would have
the
been
thing
fine.
is, it still is a thing. Like there's
Mm.
so many singers. It's just that I don't know. I actually so the field is full of artists, even young and old.
Okay.
But I guess it's just not mass.
Okay, it's not
But
mass. It's not
yeah, but
mass.
then classical arts were never supposed to be for the mass audiences.
Okay, so interesting question. Let's say someone who's into metal music, listens to Iron Maiden, etc. He or she comes up to you and says, "Now you have to help me develop a taste in Carnatic." What would you do?
The thing is that a lot of Iron Maiden, Metallica stuff, right? It is actually really similar to classical music.
Okay.
Because a lot of people in the 70s learned the music in the 50s, which is when like classical music was big. So
yeah, but what
metal,
classical music are you referring to?
usually American classical music. Like I'm talking like Beethoven and stuff like that.
Got it.
Right. And also to a certain extent jazz, because that was the big music of the 40s and 50s there.
Okay.
But I think I think the difference may be in geography rather than time.
Yeah, that's true. But something about the Western music right now is that it's actually beyond geography because their culture has become global culture. Like people call it culture free, but it's not really culture free. It's global culture. It's their culture which has become global culture. So that's why it's so like available or appreciated even when it's made on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But
especially with the internet, with YouTube being such a big thing now.
Yeah.
I think now, anyone can see music from anywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you asked me about how I would help a metal person inculcate a taste in Carnatic music, right?
Yeah.
I would introduce them to the world of ragas, and there you will get lost.
Okay.
And yeah, so just I probably introduce them to the rare ragas of Carnatic music
Hmm.
because those are really beautiful.
Okay.
And once you start like listening to those ragas, and then you move on to a related raga, and then you see the differences, and then you move on to a completely different raga and see the impact.
Hmm.
Yeah, then you will have very cultivated taste.
Okay. So this has been a very interesting discussion. I think both of us are really enlightened on what the dance world has to offer and the discipline required to excel in the field.
Yeah.
So I think with that we can wrap up today's episode. It's been great. I've learned a lot. I've had a good conversation. It's been a great evening. Pakoda should have arrived, not come right now. But so
That is
thank you,
why we are
Divya.
ending the podcast, by the way, because Shiva's Pakoda is here.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a good weather, man. Mysore's great, great weather. So with that, I think we'll wrap up the podcast. It's been great. So thank you, Divya. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's,
Good
it's
luck
a,
for the future shows.
thank you, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And so Ashish, you want to add some ending comments?
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Click the bell icon. If you're on Facebook, share the post. If you're on either YouTube or Facebook, you can click on a link, and any topic that you want us on the podcast to talk about, you can drop it in that link. Thank you very much for listening, and please do continue listening.
So thank you, guys. It's been great. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.